If you were tuned in earlier to this episode of Why You Playing With Me, that was happening earlier, excuse me for eating on the live, but an incredible amount of things to do today, and I left my house and I didn't even really get an opportunity to eat. So therefore, I had to just stop and grab something quick on my way to my next visit. So you're gonna get the rude Mark that eats on the live that people used to complain about back in the day. Like, who is this guy chomping on his food on my camera? I don't care. But yeah, if you were tuned in earlier, there was a lot of problems brought to the table that I had. A lot of things that were put on my plate that really did not need to be there. Because I truly understand when emergencies happen, things that are out of your control, when things just pop up, like, it's such a variable job that I'm in where, yes, an emergency can happen where you were planning to do something else and then you had to change course because some kind of an emergency happens. But this thing that I was being asked to do today was not an emergency. And I'll tell you why. There's a few things about it. Number one, what I already said, this is something that came up while I was away. And I supposedly got coverage to assist me with things while I was away. And they just dropped me an email telling me to handle this issue as soon as I get back. And they dropped me the email while I was away. That already irked me. Secondly, it's like a paperwork that they want me to fill out for this person. The paperwork is due on November 10th. But I get reached out to today on October 10th while I'm playing catch up with these visits that they did not assist me with while I was gone. So there's a month for this thing to be filled out. I understand, like, you want to get it in as soon as possible, but there's no reason to reach out to me this morning and try to be a goon and tell me, like, I don't care what you have going on your schedule, you just have to get this done today. You have to spend an hour with this person filling out this form today. No reason to tell me that. If it's that urgent, you do it. You can't tell me the morning of. I prepare my schedule like a week, 1 to 2 weeks in advance. You can't just reach out to me. This is a non-emergency. This is not something that needed to be done today. It's not something you needed to ruffle my feathers for. So, I wanted to tell you all of this solution that I came up with for my problem. It's a really good one, too. Hi, Omir. I know I haven't been on this channel too much, but I remember your name from a previous live I had done a couple of weeks ago. Hi, Tammy. Are you ready for it? My solution is a 2-letter word called no. That's my solution. Because here's the thing. Anyone can sit in management and field calls from people and be like, oh, what do you need? What do you need help with from this case manager? And then they're like, I need this, and this, and it's so important. You're not the one who's doing those things with those people. We are. We're the ones who's working with the people. And I have a job. I don't have an office job. Maybe in an office, you come in and the secretary makes your schedule for you and you just have people come in for appointments, whatever. I'm not in an office. I have a remote job. I have a hybrid job. My home is my office. And I do house visits. So I make my own schedule. I know what works for me. I know how long it takes me to get to each house. I know I prioritize. I know what's important. You can't just field a call from a member, a client that's complaining like, I need this done right now, and then be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna reach out to the case manager and make sure that this is done right away, ASAP, and then reach out to me and be like, this person's problem is more important than the other person. I had a whole discussion about that this morning. I was like, who are you to determine that of all these 40 people that I am servicing, that you're going to sit here and prioritize which one of them gets how much of my time for what? You're going to decide that. Because you had one call with one person who said they need this. We literally have trainings about all of this stuff, and one of them is boundary setting. Because obviously, these people, if they know they have access to me anytime they want, oh, I could just call the supervisor and the supervisor is going to make you come extra times, because we are only within our program that they sign paperwork for, where they're only entitled to 2 visits a month. 2 visits and 2 phone calls. That's what they're entitled to. Supervisor will reach out to me after I've already completed those requirements. Tell me to see them a 3rd time, a 4th time. Why? I have other people that have needs as well. So that's not a mandatory part of my job to do that. So anyways, like I said, my solution to this problem is no. I don't have to do that. Now, I know this is going to end me up in a similar spot as I've been in before. What do I mean by that? You say no, especially to somebody who's on a power trip, especially to somebody who's like, my voice is the law of the land because of my title. There's going to be pushback. But the alternative is my time is going to be disrespected, and I have a 0 tolerance policy for that. I don't let people do that to me. Job or no job. I don't let people walk all over me. I don't let people talk to me any kind of a way. So I'm sitting here like, let me say no and see what happens. And I'm laughing to myself because I already see how it's going to play out. But I'm fine with that. I'm not breaking any rules. I'm not doing anything I'm not supposed to do. I'm just setting boundaries. People think that you can't set boundaries at a job. What happens is you get into the job. You're new, you're fresh. So a lot of these managers are like, okay, this person is new. I haven't tried them before, so let me try them. I'm not even gonna try to eat this burger because it's just gonna be too hard to accomplish that. But it's like you're new and you're fresh. So let me push your boundaries and see if you have any. See if you're willing to stand up for yourself. See if you're willing to say no when I give you a ridiculous task. And for me, like when I started the job, I wasn't really saying no to a lot of things because I was in a probation period and needed the money, needed the job. I still need the money and I still need a job. I don't need this job, but I still need a job. So I play nice a lot of the time, but there's a thing called I am gonna eat the burger. There's a term that this generation, I don't know if this generation made it up, but there's a term that people say nowadays called standing on business. And that's where I'm at with it. Standing on business. Because I'm not the type of person who just kicks up dust for everything. There's many things that happen over the course of a day that I'm like, this is not worth fighting for. I learned that from one of my old friends at one of my old jobs. This person was a really good friend to me at that time. So, thing is, they told me just because you're right doesn't mean that you have to show people that you're right. She told me, if you are going to fight for something, always make sure that it is worth fighting for. Little stupid things that happen with management in the course of a day. It's annoying, but it's whatever. But this one is a big principal item that I feel like if I don't fight for them to make this right, then they are gonna feel like they can just walk all over me. Boundaries become harder to set the more that you let things slide. It's something that I learned in life. I've had to reverse things that my family taught me, quite frankly. I love my family, but they raised me in an old school way, which means, hey, don't bite the hand that feeds you. To an extent, I get what you mean. But there's so many different options in this world. That's the thing about our world, or the world that I live in right now, compared to the world that my mom and dad grew up in. They grew up in a world where options were a little bit more limited. So having like a toxic job. Hold on, let me make sure that this is showing me everyone's comments, because sometimes It does not show me comments. Okay, there's just no comments. Yeah. So growing up, I mean, having a toxic boss, toxic job, having people make you do things at work that are not in your value system, whatever, you just man or woman up and just tolerate all the disrespect, abuse, whatever you get. And then you go home and you say, at least I was able to put food on the table and feed my family. I'm glad I didn't grow up in that era, but also at the same time, it's crazy that people my age or around my age that are a part of my own era are treating people like that, treating me like that. Incredible and insane. Insane. What makes you think that's okay? Oh, I understand that you say that your time is limited today because of all the visits you have, but just do it because I said so. Last I grew, I have one mother. I had one father who is no longer here. And the last time that I had someone who says, just do it, I understand, but just do it, them, my grandparents, maybe even some aunts and uncles. But the point of the matter is, I was a child. My mom can't talk to me now and say, do this, do that, because you have to, nor does she. She might want me to do something real strongly, but unfortunately, I'm a grown man. And even at work, people think that because there's money tied to things, they can make you do anything. I am not the one. My track record over the past decade proves that. And I think that when people meet me and see me, I don't come in hot. I don't come in like argumentative. I don't come in there, hey, oh no, this is a problem, I'm not doing that. I don't come in there like that. I kind of wait and I feel out the situation. I do notice a little red flags, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to try to make past instances with other companies make me automatically pin this on the new place that I'm in. But I do take notes of things. Sometimes literally I write down notes of things. And currently I know enough to know what it is. I know enough to know what's happening. I know enough to know what this company that I'm working with stands for, what their leadership is all about, and I know enough to know that my time here is temporary. And so, I don't know what's going to happen today after they find out my solution of no, but it could be fireworks, it could be nothing, but I'm down for whatever, because I'm not in the wrong. I haven't done anything wrong. I've gotten written up at other places in these types of situations. You know what I did? I reached out to HR. I never wanted to get to that point, but I was in a nightmare situation at my last job where a manager had a vendetta against me, and we went 12 rounds, me, her, and HR, and she was out of the company before I was. I left by my choice after she was laid off. That's all I can say about that. This is this person is lesser caliber of a person who I think is far less capable of all the little slimy things that other person did to stay in the position as long as she did. So that's that. I appreciate you listening if you've listened thus far. And please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified of when I drop some more great content. Thank you.